Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It is so great to be here. I'm so glad to have a little bit of time to talk with you about something that I absolutely love and adore, which is all of the incredible, wonderful hubs that are all around our wonderful universe. So come on in, get situated, and we are going to talk all about how you might start a wonderful hub of your own, which is really cool because Wanderful has so many neat opportunities. And I think this is really one of our biggest leadership moments. It's a chance for you to build community, to have your own support network, to make lasting relationships and friendships. And we're going to use time today to talk all about that. So this session is recorded. This is our chance to get all the information that you need. And then you can also come back to it too, live streaming on YouTube. So you can all link on YouTube to find the information that you need. For Wanderful members, we're also sharing it in the Wanderful member hub. So you'll be able to access this recording and download it. But if you're here live, you get the benefit of being able to ask questions. So go ahead and drop in the chat if you ever have questions, comments, thoughts. We can help you out and get you situated. If you don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Beth Santos. I'm founder and CEO of Wanderful, creator of our incredible community of passionate, inspired women travelers all around the world. And this is one of my most favorite webinars because it's for people who are interested in really taking the lead and being like a bigger part of this community, which is so awesome. So I see people coming into the room. Thanks, Cosette. Nice to see you. Hi, Janine. Nice to see you. Go ahead and use this chat as your space. I know we're live streaming, but you definitely can use it anytime. And let's give you all the information that you need. So we're going to talk through what Wanderful is. We're going to talk through what our local hubs do. We're going to talk through the roles and responsibilities of a hub leader. And then, of course, how to sign up, how to actually apply, get yourself into the role, and kick off your next Wanderful hub. So let's get started. All right, here it is, all about Wanderful local hubs. First of all, let me just take a minute to talk about myself, take a minute to talk about Wanderful. If you are watching this webinar, you probably are familiar with Wanderful. I know a lot of people in our community that are learning about being a member. Maybe they're new. For you, you're Wanderful experts. So we don't have to spend too much time. You know me, I started Wanderful. I wrote a book called Wander Woman. I also have a podcast called 85%. I have 3 kids that keep me busy. And I love this community. The whole ethos of Wanderful is creating a powerful network of women travelers, travel content creators, and now even entrepreneurs. We talk about creating connection with one another, giving each other tools and resources to support our travel journeys, but then also looking at the broader ecosystem of the travel community, which is that so many decisions on the consumer level are made by women. But then when we're talking about who is leading the travel industry and who is making decisions on, a much wider scale, women are not really represented as much. So I want to make sure you can still see the slide. So I'll show it like this. So there's really some kind of nuances to what we do at Wanderful. First, of course, it's just bringing women together who love to travel. But secondarily, it's helping really push this industry forward, helping women build meaningful and lasting and sustainable businesses in the travel industry, helping women who are creators. And by a creator, I mean a storyteller, someone with a voice who wants to share her voice in travel and better represent the industry on a whole, the places we go to, the things that we do. And then, of course, just helping women who love to travel to meet and connect with one another. We have a lot of solo women travelers in our network. We have a broad generational diversity in our network. We have women who are just out of college, and we have women in their 80s. And across the board, we find that the need for support and community and connection happens throughout your entire life journey. So you'll see that in our meetups, in our events, and in the activities that we do. If you haven't seen this slide before, it's really helpful. So I'll show it really big. This is kind of a broad look at all of the things that we do at Wanderful. We have thousands of community members. We have a paid community that has almost 4,000 members in it now. We also have local chapters. We have a whole content creator network. We have a really cool creator event called WITS, which is the largest gathering of women travel creators in the world. At WITS, we host an award show called the Bessie Awards. And we also launched about a little over a year ago the Woman Owned Map, which is the first ever mobile friendly map of women owned businesses all around the world. So you can find and stay and support women owned businesses when you travel. So there's kind of a look at some of the things that we do. But one of the oldest and longest lasting things that we've ever done is our local hub network, which we kind of conversely say local chapter network. That was really the beginning of Wanderful. We started as a blog. I think some of you know the story. We started as a blog in 2009. And our local meetups was actually the thing that really brought Wanderful to life. We started doing in-person meetups in cities like Chicago and Boston and New York to give women a chance to really connect with each other. And I think in a time when we are seeing more and more connection in the digital space, what I've also found is that people are really looking for more and more connection in the in-person space. And our local hubs really do that. They give women an intentional opportunity to really meet with each other, to share stories, to talk about something they love, which is a love of travel, and to feel more seen and more heard. Some of our local hubs are talking about going on trips together. They all get together at our annual global meetup. There's so many nice ways to really bring our internet and global community into the real world, and our hubs are a huge part of that. So let me show you, the hub, the absolute heart of Wanderful. This is a picture of our DC hub. This is from a couple of years ago. They went to this really cool hotel called, oh my gosh, Hotel Xena, I think. And it was all inside. It had all of this kind of contemporary art focused on feminism and women's experiences. And so they did this meetup, and it was really fun. Again, like just giving people a chance to explore their own home, go do something with a group of women that live locally, but then also actually connecting people when they travel too. So we found that a lot of times our local hub members will tap into other hubs when they're traveling. So if you live in New York, but then you're visiting LA, you can actually go have lunch or dinner with a bunch of LA members and continue to build that community. So this is a quick look at the types of events that we do in our hubs. So our hubs are connected online in our Mighty Network, our member platform, but then they also put on events, like, as I mentioned, live in-person events throughout the year. So there's two kinds of events they're doing. One is a public event. This is an event that's open to anyone. It's an opportunity to talk a little bit more about our community. Oftentimes they give some sort of fun benefit to a member. It's really a way to kind of build and grow our presence and reach new people. And then on the off times when you're not doing a public facing event, you're doing a member meetup. You're going out for lunch, you're doing a brunch activity, you're doing a taco crawl, you're doing a visit to a museum. It could be anything, very simple stuff. We usually shoot for one event per month. So we'll talk a little bit about what the responsibilities entail. That is where I found the like really the best kind of, I think the best hubs, the ones that are most active, are ones that are doing something consistently every month, because we are travelers, which means that sometimes we're not in town, which means that not every member is going to go to every event every month. Sometimes they're going to miss them. So as long as you have something going on continuously, then if you miss one, you'll catch it the next month and to go. So I think really having a monthly cadence is helpful, but it's not required. I'll tell you about what some of the requirements are. And yeah, Janine just added, I've done some travel hub dinners when traveling to LA, and it's always a blast. It's funny that I mentioned LA and you're talking about LA, because yeah, it is really neat to be able to like go and have that in-person connect with a local hub. So this is a view of our current active hubs. A lot of them are US based, but we also have ones internationally. If you're watching this video, it means that you are interested in being a leader. That may mean joining an existing hub or an inactive hub that recently lost its leadership, or it may mean starting a new hub. So all of those things are relevant. The process of building or rebuilding a hub is going to depend on which context it is. Is this a brand new hub that you're starting? Is this one that you're joining an active leadership team for? Is this one that you're kind of reviving? Each one of those will take slightly different steps, but the main things are kind of the same of how you would join. I want to share with you a couple of cute quotes from some of our existing hub leaders because I think these are so cute. So this is from Pam Garcia. She's our Mexico City hub leader. This is a photo that they did of some of the women that came to an event that they hosted that was like at this really cool local cafe, and they did this evening event focused on solo travel. And Pam says, being a hub leader is such an opportunity, a great opportunity. Sorry, like covering the logo is covering what it's trying to say. Such a big opportunity, there you go, to share my culture with others. I love that I can help women when they're visiting Mexico and make her trip even more unique and local. I really enjoy being able to connect deeper with members and listen to their travel life stories. And then we also have this quote from Teresa, who's in St. Louis. She said, I'm excited to share the Wanderful community with friends in St. Louis, and I love representing my city to my fellow travelers in the Wanderful community. I love being connected to women all over the world, and I want to share that with everyone. And I think both of what they're saying is something that I see that is very true with all of our hub leaders, which if you sign up to be a hub leader, it's not only because you want to make connections for other women, but also because you want those connections for yourself, right? You become like the hub of this local community, right? That's why we use the word hub. You become the hub of it and really the center of it. But I think at the same time, it's not about you. You're really in this role of a facilitator. You're helping other people make these lasting connections, and you're doing that for yourself as well. And I think because of that, it's also not just about planning a great event and, going off on your way. It's also about facilitating this really connected ecosystem. So yeah, maybe you're having some in-person events, but you're also sharing resources and ideas in our local member hub. A lot of our hub leaders have started WhatsApp groups. So now they're getting an opportunity to talk with each other in other platforms. They can have a little bit more conversation, or they can like reach each other more easily. So your job is really kind of facilitating that and helping people to make those connections and do it in a variety of different ways. So let's actually talk about what those responsibilities are, because I think this is like the most important thing for you to get a sense of what to expect. So hub leader responsibilities. Number one, your job is to create a safe, nurturing, collaborative, and enthusiastic space for women to be vulnerable, to open up, and to support one another. I know this sounds a little bit like a therapy group, but it also kind of is. I mean, the women who come into the Wanderful community, we love to travel. We may travel so much that we don't have a lot of connections at home, or maybe we're just adults who, have moved to a new place and haven't made as many friends in our new place because it's just harder to make friends when you're an adult than when you're a kid and you're in school. So you are cultivating this space of this like nurturing, kind of supportive environment. And that's your number one job, is to create that space for others. The next thing that you do is to serve as a welcoming space for new visitors that are coming to town. So a lot of times, if somebody in the Wanderful community is visiting town, Janine gave LA as an example, the LA hub leader, that's your first stop, of who you're reaching out to when you're going to a new place. So you are, as a hub leader, always going to be having like incoming inquiries about visiting your place. A lot of our hub leaders have created visitors guides for local members to know, okay, this is the public transit system. Here's how to do this. Here's some of our top things to do, some of our favorite things to do in our city, et cetera. So you're really helping them and kind of being a guide. But also you might just be getting messages from people who are visiting town and looking for someone to meet up with. And you either are meeting up with them, or you're reaching out to the rest of the community and asking if anyone else wants to meet up with them. And then finally, you're connecting the local community that you have with the worldwide Wanderful ecosystem. So number one is all about, creating a space for these local members. Number two is about creating welcoming space for people that are visiting town. Number three is about taking this community you've built and better connecting it to the global Wanderful ecosystem. So teaming up with other local hubs to do an event, encouraging people to come to our global meetup or on a trip, encouraging people to come and check out WITS and coming there yourself, being part of this whole wonderful community and kind of being able there to answer questions and help people sort of find their way through so that we can really be this international ecosystem together. If you want, like, okay, Beth, here's like the actual things that we need to do, though, here's how the responsibilities lay out. Every local hub needs to organize a bare minimum of 4 events per year. So my recommendation, again, as I said, is 1 event per month, because I think that gives consistency and is enough to build upon. But the requirement, in order to keep your hub in good standing, the requirement is 4 per year, so 1 per quarter. At least one of those events must be a free public-facing event that you're using to spread the word about Wanderful, drive new membership, share with others, etc. We also do a lot of virtual events in the Wanderful community. So you also have the option to substitute one of those 4 events for hosting a virtual event. Really, we're always looking for virtual event hosts to just help us kick off something that we're doing online. So we're kind of giving you the option to substitute one, and maybe you're hosting something virtual that we are organizing, but then looking for a host for it. Okay. We also have regular trainings for our hub leaders. We'll teach you all sorts of things about how to talk about Wanderful, how to build a strong affiliate program, how to host a really good event. So we ask that you come to at least 3 hub leader trainings or check-ins. We also have regional meetups. These are like virtual meetups that a hub leader will organize for other hub leaders that live nearby, so that they can kind of talk about how they've been doing and kind of sharing best practices. Or maybe it's just a set of office hours that I'm hosting for our hub leaders. So any number of like trainings, check-ins, or events, we ask you to do at least 3 a year. We also have an annual meeting that we do every year that is recorded. So either you come live and you learn all about what's new at Wanderful, or you watch the recording and you complete your quiz. And then we have you fill out an annual report. So it's really not a lot in terms of the baseline requirements, but we do ask for consistency. We ask for communication, and we ask for dependability. We want to know that we can rely on you, that our members can rely on you, that you're putting together events that are, consistently bringing people together. And that you're staying up with all the information about what's going on with Wanderful, so that when people ask you, you know the answer. So really, that's kind of the baseline of what we expect and look for anyone that wants to start or run a hub. Now let's talk about the good stuff, which is what you get out of it, right? So not that we like only do these things for what we get out of them, because of course you're getting so much more, so many like emotional benefits and so many friendships and so much lasting connection to this community, but also you get some other good stuff. So you get a free year of Wanderful Entrepreneur membership. This renews for as long as you are a hub leader. So you'll get full access to the entrepreneur community, which is also the creator community, which is also the traveler community. So you get the whole suite of Wanderful membership benefits for as long as you're a hub leader. Every hub also receives 2 free tickets to our annual WITS Creator Summit. And if you have more than 2 hub leaders, you can also have 2 tickets at 50% off. So that should be enough for everyone. Usually that's fully enough. I think the more hubs we have, we had to limit like how many free tickets we're giving away. So it's not free for everyone. But that's been working out really well. And we just ask that you spend a couple of hours at the Wanderful table volunteering and talking about Wanderful in exchange for your free ticket. Our hub leaders also get the best affiliate code they've ever gotten. So Wanderful has a passive recurring commission on memberships. For all of our members that are at the creator and entrepreneur level, we offer a 25% commission. If you are a hub leader, you get 40% recurring commission on our memberships. That means if somebody's paying $4.99 a year for their entrepreneur membership, you are taking away 40% of that if they've come in through your affiliate link or through a local hub event. So we really do honor the fact that you are cultivating this community and this hub. So if there is any event that we are sharing publicly on Eventbrite that is happening in your city, any of those leads immediately go to your affiliate account. If you're speaking at the Travel and Adventure Show on behalf of Wanderful, or you're hosting a booth, all of those leads go to your account. If you have a couple of hub leaders that are doing that, we divide it equally, or we let you decide how you want to do it. But it's a huge amount of commission. It is a way to build a very beautiful, lasting, passive income strategy for you, especially if you're building your own business in the travel space. And it's a great way to continue to be a partner with us in this and in this journey. And then we also, of course, give you some perks. We give you priority consideration if we ever have a speaking engagement, like something like the Travel and Adventure Show, which we do in a lot of cities across the US. If we have a press trip coming up, or a special activity, we go to our hub leaders first, because you are the most dedicated members of our community. You are like the super VIPs. We also have a hub leader retreat that we do after WITS. It's usually like a day long or an evening long. So it's not like multiple days, but it's free. We offer it to all of our hub leaders. It's a chance for them to connect with each other and meet each other and spend some time with each other. And then we throw other goodies along the way. So we really try to make this into something that is fun, that is fueling for you, that gets you excited, that makes you feel connected, that makes you feel supported, that also, like, hey, helps you earn some income. Why not? And does that in such a way that you feel like you're thriving, and that you're the best version of yourself. That's really what we want for you. Here's some quick keys to success. I think things that have really helped our existing hub leaders build their hubs, and also thinking about who makes a really good hub leader. I think there's some specific stuff that that comes into the role of being a hub leader that is good to know. If you are a natural event planner, if you are a natural marketer, if you are a natural, like, social kind of person, you will do very well in these roles. We're looking for people who naturally know how to bring a group of people together, who know how to book an event space if they want to have a private event, who can help spread the word and kind of generally understand marketing and what that means, both online and offline. If you are already in that space of building community, running events, I think this will come very naturally to you. You don't have to be. We actually have a number of hub leaders that are introverts and are using this as a way to kind of get themselves out there. I think we all have different skill sets, but I think that the important thing is kind of, ability to do it, like willingness to do it. I know I can be like a textbook introvert sometimes. But I think, like, kind of knowing what needs to be done, delegating accordingly, possibly even building a team, can be like a great way to really make this work for you. We also look for people who just are natural connectors, builders, are very thoughtful. Wanderful is a very thoughtful community. We really like to talk about meaning and, purpose, and the purpose of travel, the future of our industry, the way to be a content creator that brings people together and helps people feel seen. We are very inclusive. We really love to be mindful about the natural diversity of everyone who comes into the Wanderful community and what they can offer. And of course, we're looking for people who just love this community itself, love this ecosystem, and want to be part of it. And that's I think just one of the biggest identifiers of if you're going to do well, because every city is different. And sometimes you just have to try something a couple times in order to make it work. And so people who get that, who are willing to kind of like throw a few ideas out there, try new things, pivot and adjust, entrepreneurial people, I think have the best time doing this. In order to start a new hub, this is actually a new thing that we've been doing this year, is instead of just kind of throwing you in as a hub leader right away, one thing that we really encourage you to do before is to launch a pop-up event. So if you are thinking about being a hub leader and you don't have a hub yet, or maybe there is a hub that's been inactive for a while, before you take on the role of being a hub leader, we encourage you to host a pop-up. And that pop-up is essentially a women in travel mixer that you're putting on, that is a chance for you to test and see how much interest is there in my community for this? Do I have the connections that I need to help build this? Can I like rally a group of people and really do this? And I think it accomplishes a few things. Number one, it allows you to get a better sense of if you are the right fit for the job, because you get to actually do the job and like try it and see how it feels and see if you like it. The other thing that's really nice is it gives you a chance to bring in some possible partners. Maybe we always encourage people to have one or even two other hub leaders that are working with them. So this is your chance to, if you already know the people, maybe you try working on this together. If you don't know people, maybe the people who come to this event are really good candidates for being a hub leader. And you want to use that as a chance to talk about your vision and what you want to do and getting people excited about it. So that's good. And then of course, it's just like a nice way to kind of jazz up some interest. We will put it on Eventbrite. We have a pretty good Eventbrite following of people that are looking for local events. We'll share it in our member community. We'll share it on social. We'll really blast it out to our network so that you can get as many RSVPs from the Wanderful side as possible. But then we leave it to you. We want to see how much you can do, how it goes, how you feel. And then after that, we can have a conversation about it. Okay, is this something that you want to pursue long-term? Do you feel like you're ready? If so, then we can get you onboarded and there's a training process. I want to see if the new slide includes that or not. Okay, so let me tell you about the training. It is a self-guided training, takes a few hours to go through. It is all done in our member hub in the Mighty Network. So once you decide, yes, this is working, I want to do this, we have a conversation about it. You host a pop-up. It goes amazingly well. Then we get you into the Hub Leader training program. You go through that program on your own time. Once you're done, that's when you get your affiliate link so you can get people signed up and ready to go as members, start building that passive income. You also get access to our Hub Leaders group, which is a group in the Wanderful Member Hub just for our Hub Leaders. You get event announcements, updates, the chance to chat with other hub leaders. We'll also add you to our hub leader WhatsApp groups. You'll get all the connections. And that's going to happen after you've like done this. There's a really great question that Aaron brought in about funding of events. So we really encourage you to find events that don't require outside funding so that then it's not anything that's coming out of your pocket. So what I mean by that is going to a bar or a restaurant and saying, hey, can you set aside some space for us so that we can have a cash bar for this Women in Travel meetup? That's usually the best way to do it, especially when you're starting out, because then it can just kind of be like, as it flows. We do offer promotional support on the Wanderful side. So if they're saying like, yeah, we can do that, but we need whatever, an Instagram post about the event or something like that, we can help with that and do that. A lot of our hub leaders will add Wanderful as a collaborator on Instagram to get a little bit of social push. We can kind of do any number of things there. I know our New York hub does a lot of collaborations like that, where they will bring in a sponsor who's maybe willing to cover something in kind in exchange for doing a presentation. So they'll like pay for drinks for everyone or, help with appetizers. And in exchange, they're like doing a presentation or like showcasing some stuff or like having a little table. In Boston, it's a lot simpler. We tend to use spaces that give us room for free. We give them a shout out on social, if that, and that's enough for them. So I think really kind of leaning into local relationships that you have, finding venues that will host you for free in exchange for a cash bar, and limiting your expenses so that you don't have to pay anything out of pocket for it. That's how it's mostly worked for all of our hubs. Good question. Here's info about how to apply. So if you haven't done it yet, there is an application. You can go to sheswanderful.com/startahub to fill out an application. I'm going to drop it in the chat as well so that you can see it. That is going to be the first line of how you reach us. Those, we are looking for people to submit those by March 1st. So March 1st will come around. We'll start doing onboarding for some new hubs. So make sure if this is something that you want to do, get your application in by March 1st. We do accept people on a rolling basis. So if you can't make it in by March, that's fine. You can do it anytime, but just know that it might take a little bit longer because we're going to kind of try to batch process. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. We're really excited. I know we have some new hubs that are in the works. Our hub leaders are the most supportive and wonderful community you're ever going to meet. I think it's really fun to just get a chance to connect with them and kind of hear their stories. If you have any questions about the hub leader experience, you will have direct access to me. So I can always connect you with hub leaders, especially maybe ones that are located regionally, to talk with you about your city, about what you're thinking about the unique nuances of your place. I think sometimes in-person meetups in different places does rely a lot on just what is the local culture like? What is the going out culture like? What's the public transit like? How do people move in these spaces? And what is going to be the best? Is it a Saturday brunch? Is it a happy hour on Wednesday? Is it, more formal event? What is it? So we can kind of help guide you and give you ideas. We also, if you don't have a partner yet, we can also help match you with people that have also submitted applications that might want to work with you. So, so that is a really nice way. Get the app in. It doesn't take long, just a few minutes, but then that's your first kind of way to just show your interest and share and talk with us. I think that's all the questions that we've gotten. So with that, I will leave you to it. I hope that this has been helpful, that it's given you a good starting place to figure out how to get things going. I'm kind of like leaving you a little bit of time in case there are any other questions that have come in. Oh, good. Aaron just asked a question. Sorry, Aaron, I missed it. Out of curiosity, how many hours does a hub leader put in weekly or monthly to be successful? So I think the average number of hours that we're expecting our hub leaders are putting in, it's very minimal. So I think they're putting in maybe 2 to 3 hours per week. So if you're thinking about like 10 to 15 hours a month, it also depends on how big of an event that you're putting on. If you are hosting like large public facing events, that's going to take a lot more time and energy because you're calling venues, you're marketing, you're building local partnerships. If you are doing more casual things like you're getting people together for brunch once a month, then it really only takes like a couple hours, if that, to pick a brunch venue, blast it out to your members, and keep going. I add the couple extra hours to that because there are so many great opportunities for you to connect with other hub leaders. We mentioned the regional meetups and trainings and special programming that we do for hub leaders. So if you really wanted to be more involved, maybe once every couple of weeks, you're coming to a hub leader virtual meetup, then you're adding in the hours that you're spending putting together your own event and kind of organizing that. And that's adding up to kind of a couple hours a week. This is something that people are doing very much like alongside jobs, other responsibilities. And of course, that workload decreases when you have other members of your team. So a lot of times they will divide responsibilities based on one person doing marketing, one person doing event logistics, and one person kind of doing community management. But it really depends on the group. But I think we really tell people that it shouldn't be more than a couple hours a week to kind of keep things going, especially if you are facilitating and delegating and, being more of the hub rather than trying to organize everything on your own. So another great question, Aaron. Well, everyone, I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've gotten all the information that you need. I hope you were jazzed because there is so much out in the world and so many things begging for our time and attention. And one thing that I've noticed above all is that the people who come to Wanderful meetups, they're so intentional. They want to be there to make lasting, lifelong connections with other people who love to travel, other women who love to travel. They're looking for sisters. They're looking for a support network. And to be able to be in that role of bringing people together and sharing our most favorite things in the world, which is just this love of travel. it's just such a beautiful moment to be able to be the one to bring people like that together. So I hope you see that. If you have more questions, you can always shoot me an email. I'll drop my email in the chat as well. It's just beth@sheswanderful.com. Happy to answer things for you, connect you to somebody who can give you more ideas and support. I hope I see your application come in, and we look forward to seeing you around the wonderful universe. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.